Oh, much better.
All right, my name is John Garfield. This is the Releasing Kings newsletter. It's February 17th, 2019, right after Valentine's Day. Actually, my wife bought them for my birthday. I gave them back to her for Valentine's Day. So the Heart Plan online course is up and running, and you can look at the introductory videos for free, and there's also an option to enroll in the course and get started. We will do some online webinars that go with it and walk you through it. That probably won't start for a month. March 22nd is the plan. I think that's a Friday. So up and running. You don't have to wait for the class to start to get started yourself. And most of you have my email or can text me if you have questions. So feel free to do that. I think it's going to be a great opportunity, and I'm really looking forward to it. So this newsletter is about a little bit of my own story and a little bit about the Heart Plan. So when I was 6, I used to ask my mom all the time, what is there to do? Now, it wasn't technically ADD. I was just a 6-year-old boy. And she told my dad to take me with him to do the ranch work. Kind of get me out of the kitchen. So from then on, my dad did take me everywhere in his pickup. Him driving, the cot dog in the middle, and me riding shotgun to open all the gates. And he taught me everything from breaking horses to working cattle, driving tractors, irrigating hay, fixing fences. He was a great teacher and mentor. And as we worked together building a ranch, it was his dream. And he had the wisdom to encourage me to pursue my own dream. Now, you would have expected him to say, Johnny, I want you to stay here and build this ranch. And for some reason, he did not do that. Now, I don't know why. Maybe he was just wise or whatever. So lots of times I would ask him what he thought I should do when I grew up. And he always said the same thing. Johnny, you can do anything you put your mind to. And he really was proud of me. I never stopped feeling good when I pleased my dad and heard him say, well done. And he was a perfect picture of a great leader, and in hindsight, a perfect picture of sort of the nature of God as our Father. So every one of us have dreams and really a deep desire in our hearts to hear well done from our Father. And most of us actually don't have a father who puts us in his pickup and takes us with us to show us how to have fun and make our dream come true. So we're talking about practical things you can do to make progress on your dream and your destiny, with or without a great natural father. Buckle up, because this is a lot easier than you thought, and it works better than you ever imagined. So we each have a story that integrates our past, present, and future aspirations into a theme that fits a purpose and a destiny and has a plot. Stories of successful people have a redemptive ingredient. In other words, they suffer the same setbacks as the rest of us, but they find purpose in those setbacks that makes them wiser and stronger, and it supports the theme of their story. Now, that's called narrative identity. Okay, if you want to look that up, it's got a huge amount of literature on it. So let me introduce you to one more term. When leaders or entertainers tell us stories that we can get into, they also identify with the story in a way that changes their attitudes and actions. In other words, when I hear a story and project myself into it, I become so engaged that I adopt the attitudes in the story. So that story actually takes me to a different place in my heart. So marketing strategists, this is called narrative transportation. They use narrative transportation in storytelling to get us to push the buy button. So managers tell their story to get us to help them meet the need of the company in our jobs. Leaders tell collective stories to pull us into meeting a shared community goal, like a politician. What if we started by helping people hear their own story, the one that's already written in their heart, instead of pulling people into a different story than what's already in their heart? You are already wired for success for your role in your story. The first place to look for things like purpose and destiny is inside the desires of your own heart. That's the secret sauce. The designer scripted something there that's worth reading. Sure, it has to be discerned, but discernment isn't all that hard. Give yourself permission to look into the desires of your own heart. We have an online course we call the Heart Plan to help people plug into that purpose. And I want to recommend that. I want to invite you to participate in that online course. So connecting with your heart means that you have a believable story with a meaningful end. Our past, present, and future all fit the narrative of that story, and the bad things that happen contribute to the power of our story just like the good things. Though our lives can be turbulent and chaotic and painful, the theme of our story marches on and lays a foundation for our happiness and the initiatives to contend for our own dream. So what happens to people with no story, or they've never paid any attention to it or never written it down? Absolutely nothing. That's the point. If we want our lives to have meaning, we have to pursue the desires that are wired into our hearts, and we have to know our story, and we have to have some initiative and some intentionality about making our story end the way we want it to. So the secret sauce is listen to what your designer wrote in your heart and get it in writing. People ask me all the time, John, how do I know for sure what I'm designed to do? How do I know the purpose of my life? And that's the purpose of this online Heart Plan course. That's what will get you there. So why am I here is the most important question in your life. Your own heart wants to know the answer to that question. Mine does too. So we all carry some divine discontentment with the blandness in our lives. And there's a reason. There really is a higher purpose waiting for you and I to volunteer. That purpose is embedded in our DNA. It's the greatness of our original design. We've made that discovery process a lot easier with this Heart Plan online course. We've been doing one-on-one with the Heart Plan for 6 or 8 years successfully. Lots of changed lives, and it's for people kind of in transition or feeling this sense of divine discontentment. And I want to just suggest that I'm also suggesting this as sort of a father figure, that you can get through this and get something in writing about your personal destiny that's very prophetic and very practical and will lead to things like prosperity in a direction. So there's a place for you to watch those free videos. If you want, take the time to watch. It's 4 10-minute videos. If you do that much, you'll know whether or not this is a fit for you right now. If you know me and you already want to do this, there's a place to log in. You can get started on the whole thing right now. So I had a great dad from the age of about 8 to 18. I was with him the whole time. And he took me with him and taught me everything he knew about ranching. It was work and fun at the same time, and it prospered in a way that made dreams come true. And I'll never forget him and how he invited me into my own dream and made room for my initiative. And when I get to heaven, I'll thank him for that one more time. I already have. He passed away in 2006, I think it was, at the age of 93, by the way. So the world right now, back to the present, is waiting for a reformation. It's a much higher purpose that will bless people and nations in very practical ways. If you listen carefully, you can hear a personal invitation in your own heart. Your Father is inviting you to go with Him and finish your story, and the world is waiting too. This online Heart Plan is a bridge that will get you there. And you and I connecting with the things that the Father has written in our hearts is a key for us to be involved in the Reformation. And I want to suggest that is worth doing. It's worth you understanding what talents you've been given and how to take advantage of those talents and to multiply them and to hear from your Heavenly Father, well done. that is a voice you can hear long before you go to heaven, in the sense of dying. Now that I've written Seers and Doers, I can't say that because that book is about going to heaven routinely and bringing back the goods. So have a great week. Take a look at the links on the online heart plan. I want to encourage you to take a serious look at that. I'm inviting you. I think that's something that you'll really enjoy, and I'm sort of guaranteeing results. So there you have it. Have a great week.